This is my tissue project, the Tissue Tycoon digital board game or video game. And board game is basically Monopoly, but none of the spaces works. They put out a separate document for that. The cards don't work, and it can only go like one lap around the board. Other than that, I can still move around and use a dice, which is neat. But anyways, basically start a roll. 5, and that is epithelial tissue. For the presentation purposes, I will buy it, so I have to answer a question to buy the property. Right here. Epithelial tissue. What is the function of the epithelial tissue? Function is, I think hard enough, that should be, it lines organs, or lines the inside of organs and forms glands. Let me roll again. 6. This would be where I would review the topics, or basically do all the questions, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Function of nervous tissue. Function of nervous tissue is allows, okay, I think it allows the flow of electrical cannot spell, hold up, electrochemical signals through nerve impulses. Muscle tissue, function of that is, I think, responds to stimulation and allows movement. And finally, connective tissue. Connective tissue, I think it, as it is in the name, I think it connects the cells and organs of the body together. And not only that, pretty sure it provides support and protection to all parts of the body. Finally, germ cells. The main 3 germ cells are ectoderm, which are basically outer germs. Mesoderm are the middle germs. And lastly, endoderms are the inner germs. Alright, let's roll again. 4. I think 4 is pseudo-stratified. What does a pseudo-stratified epithelial tissue mean? Well, it means it is arranged in layers but stays as a single layer. Or probably say multiple layers. This one multiple? I think that is. Let's roll again. That is columnar. What shape is a columnar epithelial cell? Pretty sure it is, if I remember correctly, it's like a rectangle or a column. As well, column. And finally, 2. I got a review space. So, simple epithelial tissue means 1 layer. Stratified means 2 or more layers. Transitional tissue means multiple shapes of cells and layers. And squamous, that is flats. Now done with the epithelial tissue, and then we land on another property space that is visceral. What does visceral tissue mean? It means muscle. It's muscle tissue, right? That makes sense, right? Okay. Muscle tissue that lines the insides of an organ. Roll again. 5. 5 would be, what are the functions of the smooth muscle? It has the same functions as the organ it lines. 2. I'm still going to do a review. So voluntary muscle means moves without a signal from the brain. And on the other hand, involuntary muscle means moves from a signal in the brain. Cardiac muscle. Where is the cardiac muscle tissue located? It's located in heart, but it makes up the 4 chambers inside the heart. Skeletal muscle. When the skeletal muscle moves, what does it produce? It produces heat from motor nerves. Yeah. So we're on the first one. So that's central neuron system. What does the central neuron system include? Includes, or it's composed, or yeah, includes the spinal cord and the brain. That'll be a railroad stop, but I'm already at the end, so can't really do that anymore. In 5, that'd be at the end, which is reflex. And that is what part of the brain is not included in a reflex response? That is the Can I spell that again? Conscious part of the brain. Because the reflex response is from the unconscious part of the brain. So that's where, in the review, which is this where it ends. You see, wrote and nothing happened. What does a peripheral neuron system include? Well, it's composed, or it includes all the nerves in the SNS, the central neuron system. So basically, nerves from the brain and spinal cords. Neurons. What are the parts? What are the parts of the neuron cells? That is the subbody, the SMOA, which contains the nucleus, the dendrites, which passes on these signals from one neuron to another. The axon, that's where the neuron would emit the signal from. So dendrites would gain it, and axon would dispense it. And finally, the axon terminal, which in a nerve or in a neuron cell, there's only one of the axon terminal. Synapse. What is synapse? Synapse is the space between neuron cells. But it also does not allow the passage of impulses between neurons. That's my project, and all this was coded by me. I did the art design, and yeah.